Nei.
Jeg vil starte med.
Du må blåse så de ser deg.
She's watching the screen and not the camera. Classic streaming.
Spill. Spill. Welcome to another unauthorized end of your Thursday treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Gatsby Islands. Spill. With Gatsby deep diving Queen Ray.
Hey!
At her Gatsby Pirates. Bra.
Ikke min feil at den ikke spiller hele tiden.
Okay, stop.
She said it's not my fault. It's not playing all the time.
Oh, no, it's not. Hi, John.
Yes, it's John. So today I have an extra pirate with me here, and now si hei til Paul. Ta hodet ditt litt opp. Opp.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
Okay.
I picked her up from school today, and she said she's a banana. That's a banana sticker on her forehead. So she's a banana.
She has this since she came back
Yeah,
from
it's
school.
a banana. Yeah, it's a
Oh
banana.
my
Yeah.
God. That's incredible.
She's like, I'm a banana now.
Today I am proud to present to you the great and powerful Arisa Fukuzaki from Storyblok.
Woohoo! Yeah! Woo!
Hi there.
And that's very good coincidence because our tiny task today is source about page from Storyblok.
Correct.
Correct. Booyah.
That's a coincidence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Big
Yeah.
coincidence. Yeah,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
coincidence. Not planned at all.
I'm so lucky to be here.
But first
Hello,
Nå skal vi
John.
snakke med henne, så da må du være stille, okay? First, I'm going to ask you just a few questions, Arisa.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, I almost did my John voice there. That's sorry about that, John. What's the tiny treasure deep down at the bottom of the Gatsby V4 treasure trove that is your personal favorite? What is it?
So from the feature, could be it's really so typical already, but I like DSG.
Way
too.
good.
Yeah, DSG.
Yeah, DSG, yeah. I know.
You know, Lilla,
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I
Yeah,
gotta say
I
one
would
thing.
say.
You know, yeah, go and leg that. Lillian and I, we are making a coloring book for children about DSG.
Oh, about DSG.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we are.
That's really nice, yeah.
I'll tell you more about it. Bye. I'll tell you more about it, but
Yeah.
everybody. But basically, it's about a bunny and a kitten, and they're baking gingerbread. Do you know gingerbread?
Yeah, I know
and they're
gingerbread, yeah.
baking it, but they're doing it wrong.
Oh no.
Yes,
And what's
they're
gonna
taking
happen?
They're taking too much ginger, and then the fox comes to the bakery to steal cookies.
Of course.
And then they hide all the
Mhm.
cookies. Only the bad ones are there. And then the story goes from there. It's based on a Norwegian traditional children's story.
Okay.
And then there are deferred cookies.
Yeah, so the cookies that are not deferred are the bad ones. All the good cookies are deferred. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, but that's really good example, actually. I used to teach programming, front end, and for students, I always told them, like, if you feel like difficult to learn, some of the the statements that you kind of like remember, stuff like that, grab the children's book for programming, because nowadays we can find a lot. So, and it works. So I think your DSG book for kids would be really nice one. Yeah, I guess.
And then Lillian is like, G is for Gatsby. And I guess now we have S is for Storyblok.
Oh yeah.
So that's how she's gonna learn the alphabet.
Yeah. My
no,
colleague is here.
We got another Storyblocker in there.
Yeah. Hey, Fukuzo.
Storyblocker.
Hello.
Nice to have you. So
He
since we got
joined-
new people and Ula never says it, even though it says so in the intro, remember to like and subscribe, everyone. As the YouTubers we are.
I never say that. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Anyone,
now I have one more question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was it? Yes. Tell me one thing that you've done with Gatsby and something. I don't remember.
I remember your question.
Okay, say it then. Say it.
Yeah. It's funny, but tell something that I did with the Gatsby before, and tell more about what I liked from what I did. So I'm gonna answer by myself. And first of all, I did the migration from V3 to V4, and this migration process was really like a magic. It only took like 5 minutes or so. And I even tweeted, and Ola, that's where Ola found, like, I tweeted about Gatsby V4. So this much I really like the migration process, because it didn't took me like longer than 5 minutes or so. Yeah.
And we didn't even tell her to say that, everyone. So, that's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
real.
That's like honest feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think for most people going from V3 to V4 is good. I think like where people have had, or I've heard developers had a lot of issues is with the upgrade of the image plugin, because the image plugin went through like it's like a totally new plugin, and and if you have a lot of images, like that's going to take some time. But going from V3 to V4 it's not that big of a change. You don't have to do that many changes if you've read the docs and done everything properly, right, Paul?
Yeah.
Because someone had not read the docs.
But did you though?
Some of our things weren't working when we upgraded to V4.
That's not strictly true.
Oh no!
because-
Don't start talking the two of you. So
it wasn't Paul's fault. It wasn't
Did
Paul's
you-
fault.
Thank
Did
you.
you read that, Arisa? Did you read the docs?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I love dogs. Whenever I try something like, new tools or technology stuff, I straight away go to the documentation. Yeah. So of course I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you just moved to Germany, yeah?
Yeah, 4 years ago or 5. Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't I see something about moving or something? But that was inside Germany then, or?
Oh, no. I moved to, it's a complicated story. Before a developer job, I used to work as a flight attendant. So I was flying. At the time, I was living in Dubai, UAE. But before that, of course, I was born in Japan. I was raised in Japan. So I moved from Japan to UAE to Germany. So, and here I am. Yeah.
You're
So
another flying dev. You were going to about to say the same, Benedict.
Yeah, I was going to mention,
Yeah.
because one of our good friends, Fabio, was also, he
Yeah.
went from flight attendant to developer, and he had a
Wow.
podcast
Okay.
and he had like a podcast and a website that he called the Flying Dev.
Oh my God, I didn't know about
Flying
it.
Dev. Oh, you gotta go check that out.
I need to check that out. Definitely, yeah. Because I didn't know like any other like developers who changed their career from flight attendant. So I'm gonna check it out, definitely. Yeah.
It's very
that
good
is,
practice to be a flight attendant, with people.
Yeah. To communicate. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he told me about it, and then suddenly you're in a situation and then people are they're really angry, and they have good reason to be angry, and you can't really do that much. You're just like, you want some coffee, maybe?
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah.
Probably one of the really good transitions into DevRel, especially where you have to where you're often the face of the company, I guess, and when thing goes wrong, it's like you who get all the tweets.
Try to catch all these. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Congratulations from transitioning into tech. I am always amazed by that because Paul and I are just very old school. So I cannot, or I'm always very impressed. Ula also has like learned himself or taught himself to code, and I find it very impressive. And he does not like my academic explanations of anything.
No comment.
No comment. But anyhow, should we get coding, Ola?
Yes, we should. And what are we doing today then, Benedicta?
We are sourcing an about page from Storyblok. So first we'll do it using kind of what they call a form editor and source the content into our site to create an about page. And then, as you know, we love to do a little bit of YOLOing and some extra streaming after we're done with our tiny task. And then we'll try to get it so that we can visually edit our site inside of Storyblok. But that's a little bit fiddly. So we'll do that after managing to source like a simpler version, or not a simpler version. Same data, just different entry, I guess. And Paul's going to talk me through it. And Arisa is going to jump in where she feels like we are not doing a good enough job. No, it doesn't have to be that. It could be any reason.
No.
Jump in. And if anybody has any questions about Storyblok, of course, it's a good time to ask. Since we have somebody here, and there seems to be people in the chat too who can do some answering. Are you ready, Paul?
I am.
Let's see. I even prepped. Let's see if my prep works this time. There we go. So here we have.
Start?
But Ola, if you guys are going to talk, you need to mute yourself. Can I mute you?
Yeah.
Or I'll mute you then.
Mute me.
Since you are talking.
Should we start with the source plugin, Benedicte? Just point out what it's called.
We probably should. So the source plugin is Gatsby source Storyblok.
Mm-hmm.
So I've already added it because we all know that installing NPM packages on stream, like my computer freezes. So we installed the Gatsby source Storyblok, and we've added in the preview API key, and then we are in draft. I guess that's to get pages that aren't published but that are in draft mode. I'm just kind of guessing.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And here we have a page, and it's a title, and I just put title in front of the title there, and then name in front of this field, just so that we can like easily kind of understand where things are coming from. And then we have a teaser block, a feature block, and then a grid block with the Queen and the Paul and Ula. So I've kind of done the sourcing. Do we want to go and look at the graphical, Paul?
Yeah, let's have a quick
next
look.
up.
Yeah. So I guess this source plugin works in the same way that a lot of plugins do. Once it's installed, it sources the content, and you can query it in graphical or GraphQL. And kind of the usual story, you should see something pop up in the Explorer. It will either be a single instance for Storyblok. The instance is Storyblok entry, or there'll be
in the bottom, I guess.
for all Storyblok entry. I mean,
Mhm.
either one will pretty much return the same thing for us because we only have one page.
but
But if we did,
I'm guessing we want to use it, since we're not doing kind of a page directory. We just have this one page. We probably want to source the data from it as like one entry, not a list. So I'm going to go to the Storyblok entry, and then I often just do the ID for front. No, let's skip the ID. Let's do name and content. And I guess we're going to see the same that we have over here. So name about page, that would be the text or the input I put here in the config side of things. And then this title I see somewhere. Yeah, here is the title.
Yeah.
It's like inside of this big content block here.
yeah.
So what's our So what
And I
would our
guess-
next step would
Well, good thing to point out here. Again, it's quite common, but if you've ever worked with WordPress, you'll be familiar with when you query content or rich content, you actually get HTML, which can be a little bit gross, whereas Storyblok is very nice and just returns a string. And then we can use that string and use JSON parse to actually get at the individual object keys, which allows us a bit more control over the content. So it's really nice to work with once you've got it into Gatsby. You get a lot of control over each individual element. But what our next step is going to be, and this is one of our special terms, Arisa, we're going to create what we call a parrot page.
Ooh.
So
parrot page.
a parrot
I like
page
that.
is a file system root API collection route. But you'll be familiar with it by using Storyblok entry dot. What we doing it on URL or slug? I can't remember.
I think slug.
I think slug. Yeah.
Slug. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we want is to use the slug from our page as the URL or path to our page, and we can do that by making a parrot page. So we already have a parrot page, YouTube slug. So this one will be pretty similar then. What was it? Was it
Storyblok entry dot slug? It's camel case, yeah. Sorry.
entry?
I guess Storyblok is all small cases.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Rename. I should have just trusted you, not go off and Storyblok entry, and then we want to use the slug to create the path, and then this is gonna be JavaScript.
Could you give us a little bit of
file.
zoom, please, Benedicte? We're a bit.
I
zoomed
forgot.
out.
I zoomed in on like the browser, and then I forgot to zoom in here.
Yeah, I always do the same in talk.
So I often, since I'm, the queen of copy pasting, I often just copy paste a page.
Could I suggest an alternative method?
No. Okay.
Tell us.
So
Tell us.
if you hop on over to the repo for Gatsby source Storyblok on Storyblok's GitHub.
Oh, I see where you're going. Didn't you send me a link?
It's in the doc.
Oh, it's in the doc. We talk so many places. So the doc I don't have open, but
Do you want me to just send you the link?
yes, please.
I was about to do that.
Here we go.
That's why we're so many
the
people
private
on
chat.
stream. Like, it's so much. I don't have to remember things all by myself. Okay, so here in this Storyblok, and you have made a
new
nice
section
little. Somebody is an overachiever and went to Storyblok's source plugin and updated their README.
Somebody did, yes, I remember.
Somebody did, and
Yeah.
the chat can guess who that was.
One of us.
This now is, the same as we'd normally do. We've got the page query at the bottom of the page with the GraphQL query variable for the node ID, and we should, when that compiles, now have a page that appears on
about page.
about.
Look at that. And also props to Ineza for adding my Let It Snow plugin to Mattermob. So this is the snow that you can.
Yeah,
or-
I
or
like
can
this
say.
snow plugin.
Well, we're going to be seeing a lot of it today because it
Yeah.
starts on every initial client render. I think it starts, and that happens a lot in dev. Okay, yeah. So now we have name, about page, and that I guess is story name up here.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
so there is a next step. I mean, there's a number of ways to do this, I suppose. But if you head on back to the GitHub README,
I am just gonna stringify and get everything out. That's how I like to do it.
Og her er alle de, hvis du vil se på de.
Okay, I'm gonna mute them again because will I forget that they are in. So let's just do story, null, and then 2 to get some indentation. Didn't that work?
Oh, Ineza is here.
Hey,
Oh,
Nizza.
cool! Yay! And he also did that, without us having any documentation. So mad props to Inessa for figuring out what was needed to get the project running and managing to create a YouTube token and all of that good stuff. So we were joking about that in Twitter, that it's very intentional, is to give people real world experience on contributing to projects. But yeah, so here we have it. We have the ID and then the name again and then the full slug. Okay, but I was expecting to see some content here, but I guess we are not that far along.
Yeah, so if we go back to the code quickly, so that is looking at story.name. The rest of the content is on story.content. And I've just
but shouldn't that come in? Shouldn't that come out when we do stringify story? Shouldn't there be a content?
I guess you still need to direct content after the story.
Okay.
So if we go back to the GitHub README, I've put another link in the private chat.
Oh, look at that. I'm not getting anything from content. I did this earlier today. And
then scroll down to rendering Storyblok content, and just basically copy and paste that whole thing, and it will just overwrite, and we can talk through what it's doing.
so there's body, and then there's story content, and on that's the body. But why didn't I get that when I did a JSON stringify? Because I should have gotten the content, but maybe this is a more complex.
Well, I think the way you had it before, you were just doing that had been destructured for story.name, whereas the rest of the content comes down on content.
I know. I was also doing stringify, not parse. Anywho, okay. So we have the title and the body, and we're getting it from story.content.
Yeah. And then that will render the title there. And then each of the blocks, I guess this is the whole thing, right, Arisa? Like each of the blocks have a name. So you can see I'm using a function there called getBlock. So if you scroll up to getBlock.
Yeah, each block has the name.
And then you're switching on that to see what type of what type of component it is.
Teaser, grid, and feature. And I think grid is just a group of features. Is that right?
Yeah, grid is, I can say, like a parent component of the features. So it just contains another blocks inside.
Yeah. So that's
why that's why we can map the the contents which goes inside of the grid component.
Okay, so let's go back to Storyblok. So we have a grid here. And is that something Storyblok makes, or is that something we make? Because I see there's a defined schema here. Yeah,
so the thing is, first you can define or create the component from Storyblok side. Then you will be able to see the in draft.json. So when you, for example, click cancel for a moment, then you will be able to see the full length of the header, right? And on the right-hand side, like really right-hand side, there's the down arrow icon next to the publish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so from here, if it's in draft mode, then you can see the draft JSON. So as long as you define or create the new component, then you will see the new components, row JSON from draft JSON file. And after this, then it's going to be easier to, do the magic in the source code side.
Oh, so they so I can have a look at it like this as well. Okay, so if I want to create something new, so let's say we want to have testimonials.
Yep.
So this
you can click define schema and enter any kind of whatever the name you wanna.
Oh, sorry, we're already on grid. That's not what I wanted. I want to go here to the page, and then I want to create, and then I could create another, like testimonials.
Yeah, and when you hit add, then it's gonna create the new testimonials.
Ooh,
and then from type, you'll be able to choose the field types. If you wanna have another blocks, then you also can do that. Then inside this component, you can contain like another blocks inside, like grid. Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you want to have images, then go to the asset. Then you will have the options to choose the image to.
Testimonials. So how do I create this so that it's going to be parts? That's blocks. Have I added it now? Okay, there it is. Save
schema. Yeah.
and then
and then now it's here. Yeah. Then it's here. You'll be able to choose another block. Yeah. And if you don't find if you don't find like something blocks that you want to create, then you can create from there too.
Oh, so I want this to be teasers, or just this could probably just be like a block or grid then, and then inside of here I could then have testimonials.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I'm just messing up everything now.
Yeah, that's important to get to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, what did I do? Oh, okay. So I have the testimonials. Oh, so that's so that's on the same level as body, not on the same level. Whoa.
Yeah. So it's based on the atomic design. So that's why you're able to nest and nest and nest again with whichever components you want to have, and you can reuse it. Yeah.
Okay, so then we have a footer. And it's a block. And now inside of the footer, I can then add something.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
Define schema. And inside of here, I want to add. Oh.
Yeah, you need to name it. Key cannot be
I need to name
empty.
it. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. What do we need in footer? Menu.
Menu.
And then the menu should be a list. Can I do a list? How do I do a list? Would that just be blocks again?
List. If you want to make the list,
probably blocks.
We don't have the list kind of field type, but you can, as an alternative, you can create rich text, and there is the list option. But maybe the code would be a little bit more complicated. But
okay. Now I'm just messing. Okay. So I'm gonna. How do I change this? How do I remove it again? Can I remove it? Oh.
If you want to remove, then you can. Yeah. Go to schema. Go to schema.
Yeah.
Yeah, over there. Then there's the bin icons if you want to remove. Or if you want to remove this footer block itself, then there's the settings. If you click the cancel from up above and go to the left-hand side and up above, there's the next to the name of this about page, there's like the left arrow, like in the most left-hand side. Sorry. I think I'm messing around with the explanation right now.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just like messing around. But this here we have something.
Basically, I wanted to show you.
Are you having fun, Paul?
It's fine. You carry on. You should carry on.
But I just remove there. I can remove the whole testimonials thing.
If you want to remove
it's gone. No, it's
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Or if you go to
Create,
the settings from like the previous page, like you can go back from like really up above left hand side. There's like the left arrow next to this one. Maybe no, better to save once.
Save.
Then click again. Then left hand side you will see the menu. And on the most bottom there's the settings. Sorry, not setting, components. I mean to say.
Yeah.
Components. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
from
here I
here,
have all of mine.
So here you can see all the blocks that you defined, either content type or nestable. So you can see if you're admin, then you see these components to control. So if you tick the checkbox which you want to delete, then there will be an option to delete. Yeah.
So I can delete. Okay. But
Yeah.
we use teaser, so let's put this footer thing. Let's delete that because
Yeah.
I need to understand this a little bit more before I YOLO create content. Okay. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for people.
Hope so.
I do want to encourage people to just like play around. As you can see, like I feel like if anything broke, I'm like, that's on the tool. It's not on me. Like I should be allowed to do. But I feel a lot of people are scared to just like click around because there are certain things will break properly. But I really enjoy just like basically trying to break things, I guess. Okay, back to our content.
Add something to that quickly as well?
Yeah.
So I know you knocked me for not styling anything and it's all in pre-tags. There was a reason I did that. Because I knew you'd be clicking around trying to break stuff. And if we're just rendering pre-tags, you can do whatever you want. We don't have to worry about passing data around, but we can still see it. And so if you had left that footer in and saved it and we'd pulled the data again, it probably would have popped up somewhere on that page, but it's not going to break anything. We don't have to worry about dealing with it just yet.
No, because you are just doing body. So if I do that again,
we'd have
if I do footer and then add.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Schema.
Let's see where it comes out.
And I guess it's the short text right now by default.
Yeah. So if it's going to be a block instead. And then inside of there, we would probably like to have just some regular text. It's like text. And that should be. Oh, I'm not allowed to choose. Now I'm confused again.
You can define or create the new field types. For example, if you want to have short text, then you can create here. If you just define
it can have several things. So so let's just call it in text. It shouldn't be called text. What do we need in a footer that we could like
T's
have
and
fun
C's.
with?
It'll be the terms and conditions. Terms.
Oh, look at that. Well, I'll add something we already have. Teaser. Okay.
Fine.
Which is just a text. A headline. Okay. Footer teaser. Save. So I guess we'll see that inside of our Storyblok entry. There will be a footer somewhere.
Now, question for you, Arisa. Do we need to run? Yeah. Do we need to rerun the build on Gatsby? Does it do like a content sync?
You can do refresh. You can do refresh data because
you don't have to rebuild or something like this to be able to see the just newly defined schema. Instead, like we see right now, you can just click the refresh data. Then we will be able to see that. If we don't enable.
And to enable that refresh data, I had to set an end variable that I'm not going to show now because then I show everyone my other secrets, and I've done that before on stream. But I didn't know about that until now. But there is this way of enabling this refresh of data so that you don't have to do the rebuild. It was like editable content, something. Anyway, so here we now have a footer. So if we go back to our page, it's not going to be there because I think you just looped through the body, Paul, right?
So would that be on data.footer then? Where would that end up, Arisa?
We need to.
I am imagining. I am imagining it's going to be on footer. So if we do another one of your
If we could block that out, then it's easy to see the path.
Yeah, but now we just do an HR here. I am styling. It's a style. Look at that. Ooh, our story. Footer teaser.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, good guess.
Yeah. Okay. Doing it. Okay, but let's skip that. So what I guess one normally would do then is create really nice components for all these different blocks. And that's where your style system would come in handy, wouldn't it, Paul? That we don't have yet.
Well, we don't need one because we're using Tailwind.
Oh yeah, we're using Tailwind.
Oh
we
yeah,
don't have to abstract anything. We can just put some class names on various things.
Okay, so if I say that this is a section instead, and then we class name, what's it, container, and then like max width 3XL MX. I'm getting better at this.
I wouldn't put the container on the section. That would probably be on the page level, but it's fine. It's fine.
No, because if it's, well, maybe the container, but the max width we want to do on, I would have that one down in case you want to do a different background color. It probably shouldn't be max width at all. Anywho, and I added a pros there because then it will look like pros. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? Look at how nice your
looking good.
So I'm just gonna do that for all of them as a beginning thing. There we go.
Is there any more types other than teaser, grid, and what's it on feature? Are they the only block?
Yeah, of course. These are just the examples. Yeah, the thing is we can make it, but if we just, not giving like any like examples of the blocks that people can create, people get confused. So that's why we always provide the default kind of blocks. But of course you can create like any types of the blocks, as you have seen, like, many field types that you can define, or the way you can, define the components. We have two types. For example, the one you want to like repeatedly use as like small parts of the component, then we can define as nestable component. If you want to define as like, let's say, same like the page template, to apply the same kind of layout of the pages for several pages, you also can define as content type. And you're able to do that from component section that we have took a look at before.
So you could really construct kind of any kind of schema that you want, and then in your code base you can write a little switch statement or something to catch it, so that you deal with that component specifically. So I guess you would know what things are in that component, and then you can write the code to handle images or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's why, for example, if the content editor want to, or already know like what kind of component layout they want to have, they already can do that. And they already can start to, fill in the content that they want to, because while they're doing that, developers just need to know like which kind of layout they have made. And as long as they know, they can see all the info from the JSON file, and they can query it. Yeah.
And I guess one thing, because I was thinking about this as I was working through that, so I quite like that get block switch statement, only because worst case scenario might be you've got someone from marketing poking around and they create a new block, but because in your code base you're doing this switch, if they created something new, it wouldn't necessarily appear in your like production site until someone had actually developed it and worked out like, no, this block actually is going to look like this. So you're not going to end up with any erroneous new content features appearing on websites that developers haven't, or designers haven't first had a look at. And I'm specifically, again, sort of referring to WordPress, where you could paste anything in and then all of a sudden it appears on your site and you're like, what on earth is going on there?
Yeah, you want to prevent that. I understand. Yeah, when I saw your pull request, I was like, oh, that's really genius, because you really can, control the way to prevent this unexpected like component appearing.
Okay, I'm trying to add a hero component. I am now trying to create a hero component. Yes, it should be there.
You defined already. That's why it's showing, I guess.
Yeah, but it's not showing
it's
on
in-
my page. Oh, it's
Okay.
because I was using, I think maybe I used big letters.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
case sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this stuff sometimes also catch me up. I was wondering like, hey, why it's not showing? But then in the end, it was like case sensitive problem. Yeah, this happens sometimes.
Well, now it doesn't want to show up. See, this is what happens when I YOLO.
Have you destructured hero from the story?
Well, shouldn't that be? It's like a feature.
But on line 47, do we need
47? No, because I think it
No.
should be on body. It should be on body. I put it on body.
Okay.
Like here.
Yeah, hero is in the
Here.
body. It says headline and image, right?
Yeah.
Did you
So
save
is that
it?
also?
Oh yeah, if you didn't save, then it's not gonna show.
I did save it. Don't be an arse. Oh no, everything is just crashing. Where did it go? Where is it? Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe
Does
it's,
it have
perhaps
a block?
refresh data?
yeah, I tried that, but let's just do one of these.
Oh, it didn't
console
work.
logs just
Okay,
to-
yeah, better
to
to
see
look
if it's there.
it doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And does that block have a headline? Is it maybe using name? Is that maybe why it doesn't come out?
No, I think I called it headline, but let's have a look at console.
Okay.
So I have 4, and it's called hero. It's
Has a
called hero,
headline, yeah.
component hero. It does, and it has a headline.
Okay, it should be mapped.
And then map, block, hero, component from block, and then
Does it get
we're
that far?
using
Can
the
you
block.
log out component there?
Yeah, and
see
then it
if
was
actually goes through?
small.
Oh, you need to make it small. Yeah, because I think it was small character.
Block, hero. Okay, it comes out. It comes out there.
Okay, it comes out. Yes.
Hero, but it's not showing up in our list.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Why though? Hero block. It even comes out, and then section container block.
Is
headline.
the technical name hero starting from capital H?
Yeah, because it's printing out that log. So this log is printed out. The console log hero block. Well, let's just do a hello from hero. This is some skilled debugging here, everyone. Skilled debugging. Could just be Gatsby develop. It's like being an absolute...
there is printing out. How about...
Oh, there it is. Hero headline. It was messing.
Oh
me.
yeah. There is.
So we're good. Yeah, we're good. Because now, how do we do images? Because I have the image. Do you use Gatsby image?
The thing is, you need to query, because our Storyblok source plugin for Gatsby, we are still figuring out the way to query the image, or using the benefit from Gatsby image. So right now, an ideal way is from source plugin. We are still figuring out how to do directly by using the Gatsby image. But at the moment, it's recommended to use querying it. So
query it in here?
Yeah. So
so I query all the images that you have then, or just a specific image?
You have a image in Hooter, right?
Yeah, in Hero.
Blog. Okay, so in Hero, create an image element, and then query the necessary query in and pass into the source attribute.
Oh yeah, so we just use the regular image.
Mm-hmm.
Is what we're saying. So if I do block image,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
then
there
source?
must be a name from image if you want to source the full path of the image. If I'm correct, yeah, because image contains array or object, either one of it. If you take a look at the JSON, so
Okay, so if we have a look here on, so it's image
Mhm.
ID.
Yeah, and right now name
name.
is empty. Yeah, if you want to just use the file name, you also can do that. And I think that I mean to say file name. Yeah, so you can pass the file name, then you will be able to pass the full path of the image in there. Same thing for the out attribute too.
Look at that. There's an image of me.
Mm-hmm. And confetti.
And confetti. For snow, it's supposed to be snow, but then we added color option, and now it's like falling confetti, I guess, Paul.
I was just rethinking about some of the issues you might be experiencing with how to handle the images, and so we've done the same thing. We've kind of built our own YouTube source plugin into this site, and quite a lot of our previous streams have been around how to source images from a remote source and then retype the schema. So in GraphQL, they actually end up as a file, and therefore, if it's a file, Gatsby can run child image sharp on it. I'm just wondering if that's the same thing, because I guess the Storyblok source plugin would need to use create remote file node on that image file name, download the file, and then recreate the node type. And I don't know, Benedicta, if you can just quickly take us into Gatsby node, we might be able to show Arisa a quick snippet of how we handle it for the YouTube images.
Yeah, so we do a create remote file node for the thumbnail snippet. So I guess here, so I'm guessing for Storyblok, you would then have to parse your content.
Yeah, we need to parse it.
Yeah, parse the content and then create a remote file node for all of the image blocks or image fields, and then add them to the to the data layer.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
the crucial bit right at the top, which is where we link the fields so that it knows that it's a file. And so we've got our YouTube image type, is it? I can't remember. We left it as Kyle. No, we called it image. There you go. So you see in the create schema, it's now a file, because all these issues that we had with it are an image URL is a string. It's not a file. And if it's a string, then when Gatsby runs the build process, it doesn't process a string. It has to process an image file. So by telling GraphQL, no, actually this node type is a file, then Gatsby would do its thing. So maybe, what about a little collab, Arisa? Like the three of us can get on and work with your team and get Gatsby Storyblok working with Gatsby plugin image. That'd be another cool PR, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that would be super cool. I think it's a little bit more complex though, because the content can be infinitely nested. So you have to do some nice.
Yeah, we probably need some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? The recursive pattern, probably, because it's multiple way down.
Recursive pattern.
Yeah.
And also having that information come back onto the content blob. Then I think maybe instead of having a content blob, then the parsing of the content should be done inside of Gatsby node, so that the data layer is also already made it into fields and not just a content blob. Anyway, now we're talking way deep, I guess.
But important,
that is
yes.
Okay. important stuff. But we've kind of done what we wanted. It's not that pretty. We're not gonna the thing is, we also had to create content for our about page. We will not be merging in this PR right away, because we haven't written anything about ourselves, have we, Paul?
No,
it's just lorem ipsum. It's just lorem ipsum. If somebody wants to write the about story of our streams, feel free to ask us in the repo, and we'll give you access to Storyblok, and you can add in your story. or you can create the about page for us. No, I'm just kidding. But so we would have to have a little bit of a thinking cap on what type of blocks do we need, and what do we want to kind of write about ourselves. But we have been able to source things. I YOLO the hero component that probably should be styled a little bit nicer. Because then we could do, how do we do background image on with Tailwind, Paul?
Oh, no idea.
Do you know? No idea.
When you just
isn't there the class name for it from Tailwind? I mean, I still need to see, but
have a look.
Tailwind.
This is classic Benedicte. You're throwing me off guard here. Background image. Here you go. You can do. Looks a bit more tricky.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Of course, background image, because we don't have them already for the CSS.
I mean, it does accept a URL. If you scroll down to the config, I'm not sure that's the only way to do it. I just quickly looked. Yeah, there.
Yeah, but that would be, but that's different. So I think I would just have to absolute position it or something and then put the text over. But we don't need that right now, so it's not that important. But yeah, so then you would style each of these components in your own way, kind of. That would be your job as the front-end developer, to create a system that we don't have really yet. We're using Tailwind, but we still need to make some components if we're going to start making landing pages and stuff, I guess, Paul. Some like reusable components. But that's what we could have been making inside of here, I guess. We would have made these into nicer styles when we know what we need. But what I find really, so if you want to, Ola, if you have any more questions, you can do that now, and I'll go over to my other branch so we can show off some other things.
Yes. So, Arisa.
Yeah.
You do Aikido.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You searched about me.
And now you tweet it. You tweet it out.
No, I was kidding. Yes, I did. Yesterday.
We've been spying on you for weeks now. When
oh my God.
Come on the show.
Yeah, you did it yesterday. Yeah, but did you do it growing up also?
Unfortunately, no. But this question I really get a lot because, I don't know. Some people have kind of idea like we kind of are trained to do the martial arts, but no, I was not the one. I just started like a few years ago, like maybe 2 years ago. Yeah.
When you were in Germany, you started in Germany.
I started in Germany. Yes. That's another funny story.
So are there like you and a bunch of Germans or?
Yeah. That's correct.
but do you think do you find it interesting to kind of interact with them on that level? Yeah.
It is very interesting, and I see like tiny difference between like Japan and Germany doing like the same martial arts. So for example, here, I mean, it could be different in any dojo, but here is more like with something more power. For example, when you attack, you can use a little bit of your force also. But in Japan, we were told like, no, you don't use the force from yourself, use the opponent's force.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Yeah.
Okay. Do you tell them?
I don't. No. because like in Aikido we say like follow what your teacher tells you. So if you go to the other dojo, you need to follow in that way and accept it. So I'm accepting the way in here.
So I've only seen it once. I did a little bit of martial arts a long time ago, and then some of the guys I were doing it with, they joined the Aikido class before. So they were doing Aikido in the same room, and we were waiting, and then they came over and went into our class, some of them. So I just watched them do it, and it
was it like really acrobatic or?
No, it was very very slow in a way.
Oh, okay, slow. That's interesting to hear.
It was very slow and very. And
maybe they weren't that good.
No, those guys were the best ones. But it was very funny to see them because they were not slow in our class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The one you saw was slow. Okay.
So they were doing slow in Aikido, but when they came into our class doing the stuff we did, they were not slow. So I was like, this is so weird. Yeah. So,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
But that wasn't the question. So the question is, there is a mental training component here.
A little
Do you
bit,
do
yeah.
that in Germany too? Oh, it's just small, okay.
In Germany, it's quite hard, you know.
But do they do
I
the
would
mental
say
training in Germany just a little bit, or do they skip
not
it?
really.
No.
I get it. I mean, like, I mean, just my dojo because I've never been to the other dojos in Germany. So my dojo, we skip it. But when we had like the like really high numbers of like patients from COVID-19, then we were not allowed to do the training. So the only thing you could do at home could be like this kind of. Yeah.
Okay, so did you do it?
No.
No.
Don't tell. No, I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
I think my computer needs to work on its mental
Next
or
question.
on its, what's it called? It's
training.
Yeah,
I also like, even don't know in English neither.
I don't know.
I'm just saying like mental, like I don't know training.
Its outlook. It needs to look at, because now it's like building and it's taking forever. My computer.
Okay, next question then. So Brussels React.
Yeah. I spoke at there.
You did Gatsby V4 and Storyblok talk.
Yeah, that's the first conference talk I gave. A talk with Gatsby V4. Yeah, that's correct.
Woohoo!
Yes, really woohoo. And I was so happy because the migration process, the one I did migration process was this repo. And yeah, of course, I had some limited time to prepare the talk, but it worked everything like super fine. And yeah, I was able to provide a talk like nicely. So it was really like woohoo, like Paul said.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was really, yeah.
Cheers.
So did you go there?
Oh no, unfortunately it was in the online, so not yet. But my first in-person event to give a talk would be NDC Oslo. So next month, that's the place. I'm gonna give a talk in person for the first time. Yeah.
And you have to come. You have to come visit us.
Yeah. I really would love to. Yeah. We definitely should meet.
Right in the center of Oslo, so we are really easy to get to, and we live in a very nice or a very like cozy neighborhood. So it's a nice place to visit.
We're all gonna hang out without me. I'm gonna feel all left out. Can you dial me in?
We're never gonna meet you. We're never gonna meet you, Paul.
Hurtful, but fine.
Paul,
it's just that's the way it is.
We'll print out a picture of Paul.
And just have it there. Can't you just use the one that you carry in your wallet of me anyway, Ula? I know you've got one.
Bring it to the table. I mean, put it on a stick, a stick in the grass. So that you're kind of there with us,
It's gonna be the real version of John's artwork where he photoshopped me in the window behind the family.
Oh, but that's where we're going.
On
that's where we'll take Arisa, because that's our like local cafe. But John has a request. If you read what's on your screen now.
Okay. I have a special voice for John.
I'm ready.
It's like this.
Slightly terrifying.
It is.
Okay,
it is terrifying. Yeah.
It's working. I'm gonna share my screen.
Hooray!
Okay. So I have followed the blog post. Oh, I even had the blog post up here so that it would be nice. I have followed this blog post that I'll try to remember to add to the description of how to like get that the full integration with Storyblok and Gatsby. So what we've seen so far is that we've kind of just done it the way we would have done it in many other CMSs, I guess. Like we have a form and we put information into that form, and then we see it on and then we have to build our site, and then we see it on our site. But everyone, look at this. I am now inside of Storyblok. And I can just go in and like click on the different blocks.
You enable JS client.
What?
Yeah, but not for these. Yeah, but not for these other components because those haven't been created yet. But for these top ones, I did. So then I can go in there and check it out. I'm just removing things.
Yeah.
Gosh,
yeah.
that's the last thing we need, isn't it? More, you having more control over this.
Huh? Are you not amazed, though, Paul?
I am.
Are you not?
Yeah. I can see how this would be incredibly powerful for marketers and content creators because they can see exactly what the preview is.
Yeah.
Without having to wait for anything.
And they even have this little mobile
you can
phone
see
button.
responsive
So you can
design through.
more easily see the responsive design. I really like this. That's what I kind of imagined because I've just seen the tweets and I haven't really had time to look into it. And that's why I wanted you on stream also, just because then we have to look into it. And then I kind of gave outsourced that job to Paul. And then he just skipped. And this is what I meant by visual, Paul. I didn't mean like designing the components. I meant this part where you can actually see what you're doing.
Yeah. Paul. Yeah.
Got a lot on, all right? I didn't have time.
That's how it is when you work at Gatsby. So anyway, but I was just really interested. So when I just had a quick look, and I won't say it takes 5 minutes. That's a lie. But it took me. I would say it took me like 25 minutes.
Oh gosh, should we change the title?
Can you scroll down a little bit on that video?
I didn't believe this anyway, though. So, but I guess the video is probably 5 minutes, though.
Arisa, get them to change the title to 5 minutes.
With quote, you mean?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
I'm gonna bring it back to the team.
So your colleague in that video, by the way, Arisa, if you can pass on some feedback, I thought she did very well. I enjoyed watching that. It was a really good intro. So
she's really amazing developer.
Of content to help you learn. I like
so
that.
she can probably do it in 5 minutes, but like some of us lesser developers, I guess, we spend 25 minutes. No, but as I followed this, and I would say why it took 25 was because I was skimming it. So yes, I did have to redo parts of it. So maybe it takes 5 minutes if you follow the documentation properly. But anyway, that's where I found the how to refresh content. That is over on the Gatsby blog, where you can enable Gatsby refresh endpoint, and then I think Storyblok will then be asking the data to be refreshed whenever you save something or you do something inside of Storyblok. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool because that is, at least I really enjoy writing in Markdown, but I know that not everybody likes that, and especially if you're not a developer, it's nice to have a little bit of a clue of how it's going to be looking on the site. So yeah, that was cool. I got it working. It was very exciting.
Yeah, happy to hear that, because this is like the visual editor part is like a highlight of Storyblok's DevRel's talk. So I'm really happy to hear this, kind of reaction, because when I just provide talk, it's quite hard to see, the reaction if it's an online conference. Yeah, but I will see in person how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So,
you're gonna see that in Oslo, because that's gonna be the same talk in Oslo site, or is it the same talk you're holding? Yeah.
It's same from the React Brussels, but I'm gonna add a little bit more content because I have a little bit more time, to give a talk. So it's gonna be a little bit additional stuff in it.
What is the additional stuff then?
Oh, that's a secret. That's a secret.
Yeah, but I can say one thing about this. I like this stuff here, the visual stuff, and I just recently saw this video from Gatsby where they were showing off some stuff that they're working with to get the previews to work better.
Yeah, privy. Yeah.
It's owner node ID, and they showed a little bit how it was going to be, and it is actually. So I, like you, Arisa, I wasn't a developer before, and I would always, go into these systems and make content, and I was like, oh, it was always where is my content? And I had I had to publish it. Most of the time, I just be like, okay, I'll just publish it and see how it looks. And I could do that, but if you're like,
marketers or like business users with bigger scale project, that would be difficult, and people, or not an ideal way.
Yeah, people send emails to your boss. He did it again. Now he published something. It wasn't finished,
So this was cool. Yeah, I was very.
But you use it yourself, Arisa? You use this here?
Yeah, I do by myself. In fact, my portfolio or blog, I would say, my website is powered by Storyblok. So if you go to Arisa, arisa-fukuzaki.dev, then you see it's powered by Storyblok. Yeah, and Gatsby.
Yay!
Yay!
Are you? Is that your new job, Paul? To just be like, "Way!" Everybody says something.
Yes, it is Gatsby.
Really? Oh, I need to add this as well. You have like the short one, a little longer, and then the long version.
Yeah, it's kind of DevRel thing. Yeah, to submit the talks. I don't want to think about every time, so I just use the term. Or if they want to use and to invite me to talk, like, hey, Arisa, you're gonna talk in this conference, then they can do that.
Yeah, exactly. No, super cool. I think we're kind of done. In the PR that is on our on naturalmob.dev for the people who are interested. It's this approach where where everything is set up with these Storyblok editable components, and also one had to add an extra hook here where I think that this stuff is only added if you're inside of that Storyblok interface. So it's not like added to your page when you publish and it's built. But I just copy pasted from the blog post. I have not gone into details on this. But you can have a poke around if you want to see how that is in the PR that is up on our naturalmob.dev GitHub. And the links are in the description if you want to have a little look-see. And then, of course, if folks want to start creating components and style them, then go ahead. Look at this. I styled a teaser with text 2XL.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah. Or what, Paul? Do you want your hands on this to create a proper system?
I'll probably have a quick look through, of course.
Yeah.
Just to double check.
Just to double check that. I mean, our page is a beauty, isn't it, though, Paul? You're like, it's the highlight of your design career.
Well, to be fair, we are looking a lot better than we did for the first season. So just to fill you in, Arisa, we only added Tailwind about 2 weeks ago, was it? I think
2 weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah. So prior to that, we just had basically HTML elements and a little bit of inline styles and Times New Roman. That was it. It was the worst looking site ever. But I think
it was functional. We were trying to focus on function.
This is it.
Yeah. Before styling, functional first. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we did achieve that. And it was like, you don't need to do the CSS to get something working. And we pretty much, that's exactly what we did. But let's be honest, it does look a million times better than it did now that we've popped Tailwind in. So, good on Tailwind.
Yeah, good on Tailwind.
Yeah, and then last week, if you want to have a look-see, folks, last week we made it so that our YouTube descriptions are like a CMS. So everything
that was cool.
Marked down, and you can now click the links properly, and they format properly, and all of that. So here you can go to Storyblok, for instance, from the description.
Nice.
Yeah. Do we have a plug section today, Ola?
Yes.
Me too.
Yes, we do.
Lillian is saying yes.
No, bukas tol. Kan jeg vise det nå?
Maybe while Ola is preparing, I can tell a little bit tiny of info related with the SB editable component. The tutorial, I need to update it because we released the new Storyblok editable NPM package. So, I mean, the things are really almost the same, but instead of wrapping up with the SB editable components, we are now we now turned into this as a function, so that you're able to, for example, like if you prefer to have div element, then you also can use that, then assign SB editable function as an argument, etc. Or you can use the fragments from React if you want to do that. So you can easily eliminate unnecessary, HTML element from that, because we had the feature request. And the GitHub repo from this 5 minutes tutorial is already updated. So if you're interested in, you also can take a look at it. But basically the things we're doing is very similar, but we made it much cleaner and nicer way. So I just wanted to send me that.
You have to send me that link, because I usually do a write-up of the videos for the many people who do not watch our live streams, but who are on my newsletter, and then I can send them to the correct places.
Okay, I'm doing now.
And for anyone watching, you want to sign up for our newsletter, and then you'll get that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Ola?
So this is story.
So that takes us into plugs, I guess.
Yes.
No.
Lillian says no.
Yes, ikke bare sier engang. Hva sa mamma?
Hun sa, nå skal vi se på det her.
Og pappa sa yes, og jeg sa no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
No, 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 there's no limit. No, 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 there's no limit.
No, 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 no.
I like this song. Like I was invited my friend's house, and that's the only song I could sing because there's not much lyrics in it, right?
But I think Ola pulled up your plug and then muted himself.
Okay.
So he pulled up your plug. It's the New Galactic Storyblok experience. I guess that ties in with what you were saying with the updated.
Yes. So we had the version 2 beta launched a few months ago around autumn. So this is where you can sign up to try out V2 beta. It has much cleaner interface. And we have made a lot of changes to improve, like the easier way for content editors and developers to be able to find the necessary features that they want. And actually, on next Monday, we're gonna release the public V2 beta. So as long as you have Storyblok account, you'll be able to see the try V2 beta button on your dashboard. So, but if you cannot wait until next Monday, here's the page. You can sign up.
Yay!
Yeah, so go for it.
And it's storyblok.com/v2.
Yeah, easy.
So then you can use V2 with Gatsby V4, I guess. Or, woohoo!
Yeah, it's true.
Do you have a plug today, Ola?
Okay, are you klar?
Yeah.
Lillian is going to show you something.
No?
Yeah.
Make Lillian big.
Oh, there you go. This is what you made.
Nice.
Wow. Good
nice
job, Lillian.
Is it the house and a lot of presents?
I think that that's the house, and that is the loft where I am, which has lots of cardboard boxes.
Oh, okay.
No, det er presanger, ikke sant? It's presents.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm plugging that. Lilian are making the illustrations for our book about, DSG, deferred static generation something. Yeah. and we're making the book and the story. And vi skal gjøre det etter hvert. So that's the plug. It's coming. It's coming. Coming on the
It's coming.
On the queen.ray.codes page.
Yeah. And then I'm going to answer John, and then you can transition us out, Ola.
Yeah.
So John says, did Tailwind remove the marquee element? And no, it did not. But you have to log in. Because it's our beautiful are we live or not, and we're trying to not have so many requests because of YouTube API quotas. So I think now there it is. It's our marquee element, John. So it's still there, and we are live.
You have to show it. I can't see it.
Oh! I've been talking and not showing it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
There it is. Up here it says live now, but it's gotten very. I mean, we need to bolden that now after we've gotten Tailwind.
We could do a few things to that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's invisible.
I mean, not Paul, John, go in there and slap some Tailwind onto the marquee, and I'll merge your pull request if you do that. Okay, I think we're done.
All right.
Make us big. Yeah. So first, I just want to say that since you like tea, we have this weird tea here.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Peppermint and licorice. I don't know if you ever had it.
Yeah, peppermint, yes, but the what's the second element? I can't see.
Licorice.
Licorice. I don't know this one.
No. It's one of Lillian's favorite teas.
Yeah.
So if you go here, you can have tea with Lillian.
I want to. I would love to, yes.
Okay,
and we'll dial you in, Paul. We'll dial you in.
1, 2, 3. Okay, spille. Rolig. Okay. Ikke syng nå, spill. This has been another unauthorized and rum fueled Thursday treasure hunt in the Sharky waters around the Gatsby Islands. Gatsby deep diving Queen Ray and her Gatsby pirates. Oh, Arisa and Ola. And next time will be the last
of the season.
Yes.
What?
And
already?
And Miriam is coming.
It's test-driven something.
It's a test-driven
TDD.
Yes.
Yes.
Do we wave? Do we start to
But
wave?
there will be a season three, folks. So do not sweat. We're coming back after Christmas.
Oh, thank God.
Yes. Do not
I
have a
sweat
heart
for a
attack,
moment.
anyone.
Yeah. I was about to.
Yeah. And if you have any suggestion, head on over to our GitHub repo and let us know what you want to see in season 3. Okay.
Do a winker.
Just keep waving, Arisa. This bit takes ages.
All right. I try my best.
Just keep waving.
All right.